You have to differentiate yourself. Don't just be what everybody else is doing. Try to find a niche or try to find an area that you can really work on to be better than everybody else.
1942년 6천여 평의 미시건의 한 농원입니다. 70년 후 이곳은 직원 250명, 183만 평의 노지, 15만 평의 온실하우스와 천여 종이 넘는 품종을 유통하고 연간 2천만 주가 넘는 식물을 생산하는 세계 최대의 다년생 야생화 숙군초 기업으로 성장합니다. 안녕하세요, 귀농의신 안피디입니다. 오늘은 JB 가든센터 나무아빠님과 함께 월터스 가든에서 인사드립니다. 우리와 여건과 환경이 많이 다른 미국 농원이지만 우리 농원들이 벤치마킹할 수 있는 4가지 포인트를 여러분들을 위해 정리해봤습니다. 그럼 시작합니다. 2023 식물 가드닝 트렌드를 현장에서 직접 볼 수 있는 충북도립대학교 가드닝 최고위 과정 2기 모집 마감이 임박했습니다. 세계 최고의 수국 전문가 랜더트 씨도 개막식 연사로 참여하실 예정인데요.
Hello, Plant Hug subscribers. I am Lennart Vos and I research, breed and grow hortensias in the Netherlands. October 14, I give a lecture at the Chungbang Provincial University Auction on the subject of hydrangea, trends and prospects. See you in Auction. Thank you.
지원 마감은 9월 30일까지입니다. 지원은 댓글란의 링크를 통해 접수하시거나 아래 전화번호로 연락주시면 지원하실 수 있습니다.
네, 안녕하세요. JB 가든센터의 남아빠 김정호입니다.
네, 지금 어디죠?
여기 미시건주죠? 옛날에 우리가 농구 선수 중에 유명한 사람 있었죠? 마이클 조던. 시카고에서 한 3시간 거리에 있는 미시간 주에 왔습니다. 미국에서 가장 큰 야생화 숙군초 이런 농장이 있죠? 180만 평.
직원이 250명이나
250명.
오늘 우리 남아빠님과 함께 월터스 가든 한번 가보도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Krista Steenwyk from Walters Gardens. So Walters Gardens is a producer of young plants. So we also have our own hybridizing program. So we make new plants that will perform great in your garden.
Have you heard about Korea, South Korea before?
Of course, yes. I hear that that everything happening in Korea is trending.
Yeah.
So in the US, we'll hear about different makeups or trends that you'll do, and we'll try to copy it. We think it's a cool place.
All right.
So we have all of our plants planted in our display gardens, which are public that people can come and see. And we call it our living catalog. So if you want to know what the plants that you're buying looks like, you can come here and see.
Okay, so let's go.
We developed what's a recipe program, and it's called Easyscape. So Easyscape. The concept is you take 3 to 4 perennials and you plant them in a space. It could be a small space, a medium space, a large space, but you just use them on repeat. And we give the consumer recipes so they can go to the garden center themselves or ask the landscaper to put something like this in there. But we think that you should help your customer choose the right plants. And if you put a display of just this, it might get lost with all the flashy annuals or things like that. But when you put it into this concept, you can really see how the garden really well with these perennials.
They're in a very good color combination. Do you have any tips on how to display well by using different colors?
I have the most success when I'll take 2 or 3 colors and put them in a garden, but instead of just thinking about what colors you use, so use texture. So if you look right here, this spiky texture, you've got the sedum and more of the succulent look, and then you've got this Amsonia that has more of a fine texture along with some of the flowering plants. And if you only put flowering plants in, it's too much of one texture.
월터스 가든은 식물 배치를 어려워하는 초보자들을 위해서 정원 샘플을 직접 만들고 누구나 쉽게 따라할 수 있도록 이렇게 식물을 배치해서 보여주고 있습니다.
Our number 1 selling plant is Nepada cat's pajamas right here. I think it's because it's different. It's small, it's compact, it blooms earlier than anything else. You cut it back and it keeps blooming and blooming and blooming. Yeah.
Easy to maintain?
Very easy to maintain. Can be very easy to have in your garden. So like it has a distinct smell and cats love it. So you see the cats hanging out by it. They'll eat it when it's in bloom too.
여기는 그늘에서 잘 자라는 식물인 호스타와 휴케라를 이용해서 소비자들이 볼 수 있는 그늘 정원을 연출했습니다.
When I think of a consumer garden, is they're going to choose medium to giant hostas, and they're going to plant them in their shade gardens, and it's just super popular in the U.S. Landscapers will use them in some of their landscapes. They're very architecturally pleasing.
In winter time, how do
yes, in the winter time, you would see nothing. This would just be, they would die all the way back.
My name is Ryan Hopp, and I've been at Walters Gardens all my life. I'm third generation. I am in charge of operations, so I take care of all of the different areas that are production at Walters Gardens. What we're really looking to be able to do is run some of that equipment longer hours with less people, so that automation is helping us get a competitive advantage to be able to continue to process more product quicker. Yeah, so really what we're looking at from the side of automation is anything that has a 3 to 5 year payback that we can then bring into the business and add value.
So it's where we bring our young plants to acclimate. Need these misters that make it very humid, watering booms that keep everything nice and watered, and it's very a nice environment in here. So this is something that just came from tissue culture at Heuchera. In each one of these, there's 72 in each tray.
72분짜리니까 2분짜리고요. 이제 저희가 알아서 계산을 해야 될 것 같아요.
We scan this with scanning guns, and you can see where they always are in the greenhouse. Who planted the tray, what greenhouse it's in, is an acclimation, did it move to a different greenhouse, and then when we ship it, we'll scan it as well. So it just follows it through the whole journey. So if you scan this, you'd be able to see the life cycle of this plant. How much did it spend in the acclimation range? How much time has it spent here? And you could see if it's been sorted or anything else like that. This is our tag room. So each of our items will have tags that go along with it. And we'll ship our tags out right before the order. So this tag, they can scan the QR code to get more information. This is the name of the plant. They can see a picture of it. They can also flip it over and find even more information about it. Spacing, the zone, what kind of light it needs, more information. Like these are new items, and we chose our top new items. So this would be this year's top items, and you're going to see them on repeat throughout the display gardens. Visitors, and some visitors might come and say, I only have a half hour. Well, then we can take them here.
You can see everything here.
Yeah.
You can see the new trend.
Yeah.
월터스 가든에서는 2022년 유행하는 식물을 디스플레이할 뿐만 아니라 내년에 출시된 식물도 소비자들에게 미리 이렇게 선보이고 있는데요. 이렇게 미리 선보이는 이유는 소비자들에게 내년에 출시된 상품에 대한 기대감도 높이고 또 소비자들의 반응을 직접 보고 생산량을 조정할 수 있기 때문이라고 합니다.
First, I would say the merchandising. Set up your garden center so people are inspired. Using things like Easyscape, something that they can see, okay, this is what my garden could look like if I buy these plants, rather than just doing it A to Z. Other things is make sure that you put some trending things in the garden center, things that make you unique. You know, we looked at mangaves, those could be one of them. I think that something that isn't a perennial that are really trending is tropicals. So things that work in the shady patios that people have, the small patios in apartments. That also make sure that you're putting signage up that inspires them, that says, oh, this is my shade garden, or that would attract pollinators or birds or bees.
And I think to some extent, I think you have to differentiate yourself. Don't just be what everybody else is doing.
So do you have any meaning? It seems like an art or something.
Yes, yes. So he actually found this concrete. It was used in the gardens years ago and it had gotten buried. So he got the idea to take these and then raise up the garden, and so you could see some of the smaller plants more at eye level rather than all the way down. So dianthus and small salvias and some succulents and some other things that are typically maybe lost in the garden.
여기 그러니까 요거를 위로 끌어올려 가지고 키가 작은 식물들을 좀 잘 볼 수 있게끔 그리고 배치를 한 거.
So they actually cut the concrete to make this. Okay, so you can see this a little bit here. So what he did is these areas that have these bog plants, he planted them in these pools. And then, so right here is actually a pool.
Oh, cool. That was cool.
Right, but then he covered it all, so it all looks like one garden. Okay, so then I said, you know, be unique about how you use things. But here's how to show how to use a mangave in several ways. Is one, in the ground, two, in a container, three, in a hanging basket.
mangab을 어떻게 쓰는지를 다 보여주는 거예요. 이렇게도 올리고.
My grandpa always knew that he had to be a step above everyone else to be successful. He did various things like installed one of the first tissue culture labs right here at Walters Gardens. And then as time went on, my dad started working here, and he said, we have the same plants as all of our competition, and competitions are coming up. We need to make ourselves look different. So we would travel to Europe, and he would on a quest to find plants that would stand out in our catalog. And that whole time we've been focusing on quality. So you look at the plants here is you see how we sort them, how we invest in facilities that help them be really the best in the industry.
설명하지 않고 소비자에게 보여주기, 자동화 시설에 투자하기, 내년 소개할 식물을 먼저 홍보하기, 끊임없이 연구하고 먼저 변화하기. 지금까지 6,000평 농원을 183만 평의 대형 농원으로 탈바꿈한 미국 월터스 가든에서 배울 수 있었던 4가지 핵심이었습니다. 구독자분들에게 조금이라도 도움이 되었길 바라며 지금까지 귀농의신 안PD였습니다. 감사합니다.